Hello, Leon Christianakis of Acacia Hills, Managing Director.
Hello, my name is Aideen Christianakis. I'm Leon's wife, and my role here on Acacia Hills is more of a supporting role for Leon.
So here we are in the middle of our coffee blocks. All these blocks around us are the Kent variety that we took over when we started rehabilitating this coffee farm. Except this block, we've replanted 4 years ago. For example, this is an SL28 variety that's quite famous in Kenya and Tanzania.
The idea of how we grow our coffee here is we adopt a 7-year rotation, and it's known as the Kenya conversion. The whole farm is rejuvenated every 7 years. So each year we take 1/7 of the farm, we almost bring it back to completely to new. The whole idea of it is basically to keep our tree young. A young tree is more resistant to diseases, it's hardier, it can handle drought conditions better. We just keep it young, and then on top of all that we prune as well.
This is our wet mill. This is where we process the red cherry that comes in. There's a lot of water recirculating, so it uses the minimum amount of water. It's carried up to a tank that separates the cherry by density. The lighter cherry goes off to a small pulping station, and the larger amount and heavier cherry moves to the main pulper, which is a cylindrical pulper that splits the cherry and skin apart. Most of our coffee is a washed coffee, so it goes into a traditional fermentation tank, and it lies there overnight. After overnight fermentation, and once the quality control manager thinks the coffee has fermented enough, a large quantity of water is introduced to push the coffee out of the fermentation tank and into these grading channels. Basically splits our coffee into 3 grades. The first grade comes off, which is light coffee and has some of the skin of the coffee on it. The second grade is something we call the P2, Parchment 2, and our premier coffees go into the shaded area. This is a shaded drying area. These are our premier coffees. Why we decided to erect this large shade net structure was to slow down the drying of coffee. Because we're at a high altitude, the farm sits at over 1,800 meters, we were finding that our quite intense sun was causing parchment to crack, leading to a loss of quality.
I think our plan going forward is to have all our tables covered by large shade net structures to control everything better.
We so appreciate your feedback, whether it's positive or sometimes we get things wrong and it's negative. Feedback is great. It always challenges us to try even harder the following season, so that people get to really appreciate this wonderful coffee that we produce.